Hey, what's up, guys? It's Iridian, and today we are going to be working on this beauty, the All Elite Wrestling World Trios Championship Belt. So they do have a little bit of openings on the sides and the top and the bottom. So I'm just going to have to make sure that I really get the paint under there. And the side plates have that issue as well. So they do come out. They are really well placed in the middle, but on the sides, there's just that little opening that they have. Flipping it over to the back, you see a little bit of the points that come out. They don't stick through the belt, right? But they are noticeable, and that's completely fine. We're not going to be focusing on the back of the belt. All right, so one of the first things that we have to do is cover the metal plates because we really cannot afford to get paint on those because it will just be a hassle to really get the paint off of these big metal parts. I should have had tape for this. I really should have, but I used what I had in the moment and I just used a sheet of paper. So I used that sheet of paper and I cut it and taped it to really cover the metal plates. All right, so now that everything's covered up, it's time to bring out the paint brushes and the acrylic paint. These are just regular brushes. I got them on Amazon, and same thing with the acrylic white paint. The paint that I'm going to be using for this video and specifically for this championship belt is paint that's made for leather. I just thought that that would be the best fit. So now we're going to go in with the paintbrush, and I really tried not to get paint on the clasps. And right after the first one, you saw that there was really no going back. So I'm like, okay, I will deal with it later. I just painted all that I could, and all of the clasps ended up being white, which again is fine because you can remove that paint later. It wasn't easy. So if you can try to cover them up, if you try to do this project, I would definitely suggest that you cover them up. I really liked how this paintbrush was working because it really allowed me to get into the little crevices. And as you can see while I'm painting, you still see the little black spots. And with this brush, with the second and third coating, I was really able to get into the crevices of that title. Okay, so after the first coat, I went in with a different paintbrush just to see how that would work. And this coat went on not as great as the first one, but it still had a lot of coverage, which I appreciated. This is what the belt looks like after 3 coats of paint. I removed the paper and really got into the back of the metal plates just so the paint would look better. Now we're going to go in with a pink leather paint. It doesn't have to be neon. That's just a choice that I made. I thought it would help it really pop. And in total, you are going to use 4 coats of this. You could be more, could be less, depending on how strong your paint is. But Anthony Bowens on TikTok said that his belt took 4 coats of pink paint. So that's what I'm doing here. And you can see that I used the purple tape to help cover the plates and really help get into the parts that the paper was really blocking before. These are also different paintbrushes. I got these on Amazon again, just a different type. Honestly, it was a learning process on what type of brush to get. But again, everything that I used for this is going to be in my description box below. This is what it looks like after 1 coat of pink paint. And we're going to go back, let this dry for about a day. In between coats, I would let it dry either overnight or for the full day. So this entire project took about a week and a half to complete. After 4 coats of pink paint, I went in for the final touches. As you can see, there's just a couple little specks that are still open with either white paint or the black leather that was originally under there. So I did have to go in with a little bit of a thicker layer of pink and kind of just let that dry. But I think the end result looked really great. You can see some of the metal plates still got some of that white paint or the pink paint. I used cotton swabs with micellar water to be able to clean off the paint. This actually did really well because I did try rubbing alcohol and that kind of left a dirty look to it. So I think the micellar water looked fine. But I did go back at the end and just kind of wiped off the hardware and I thought it looked great. This is the final product. This was after 4 coats of the pink paint. And yes, I did have to go back and kind of just do some final touches, but I think it turned out beautiful. Now it's time to add the letters. These are not the ones that are on the Acclaimed title, all right? Those are painted on and it's a certain font. These I just picked up from Michael's. You can pick whatever kind of font you want, but these are the ones that I picked and they were white, so I had to paint them black with a marker and then I just stuck them on because I am not going to keep them like this. And I had to draw a pair of scissors and I colored them in with a Sharpie that was silver. I cut them out and then just with double-sided tape, I was able to tape them on both ends so it's similar. And this was the final product of the Acclaimed recreation of the title. Again, if you want to try to make your own, I'm going to link everything down in the description box below. All right, Rust friends, thanks for joining. I'll see you guys next time.